Parents have been arrested from a missing juvenile case that was first reported on back in January, according to the Bunkie Police Department. BPD said that a 17-year-old girl was reported missing months ago. Police said that the girl had been suffering years of abuse and was told to leave by her parents, identified as Travis Shane Ducote and Dawn Ducote. Dawn Ducote allegedly waited about 4 days to report her daughter missing, calling in from another state. The girl was found safe on January 25th in Evangeline Parish. When the parents refused to give out their location or to return, warrants were issued for their arrest. The Ducotes were apprehended in Arkansas and were extradited back to Avoyelles Parish. Travis Ducote was charged with second-degree cruelty to a juvenile, domestic abuse, strangulation, simple battery, and criminal neglect of family. Dawn Ducote was charged with principal to second-degree cruelty of a juvenile, principal to domestic abuse, battery, strangulation, simple battery, and criminal neglect of family.